Hey, what's up guys? Today I want to show you how to mix paint in a mixing cup. Now for most of you out there, you probably already know how to use a mixing cup. And in most cases, you're probably using your computer to mix your paint, which your computer automatically mixes your paint for you with the reducer and everything for you. But in some cases, if you guys are going out to buy paint already mixed up and you don't have a setup like this, you're probably gonna have to use a mixing cup like this. So if you don't know how to use a mixing cup, I'm gonna show you how to mix in a mixing cup today. Okay, let's get started by talking about numbers. So most paints, most base coat paints, solvent base coat is mixed 2 to 1. That's all you have to worry about, right? So in most cases, most of these cups are gonna have a whole bunch of mixes all around. Like, let me show you. In most cases, you're gonna have all of these numbers. These cups have mixes all the way from 1 to 1 to 8 to 1. For the most part, you're not gonna have to worry about all of those numbers. The numbers you mostly gonna have to worry about are 2 to 1 and maybe the occasional 3 to 1 or 4 to 1, depending on how the clear coat is mixed. That's what you have to know when you're mixing paint. You just have to know the mix ratio. So on most parts, your base coat will be mixed 2 to 1. That's it. That's this number right here. 2 to 1. Now you see these percentages? You don't really have to worry about these percentages when you're mixing your base coat, which is 2 to 1. These percentages are if you're mixing clear. So, okay, so let's talk about the mix ratio and the number in the mix ratio. So 2 to 1 stands for 2 parts paint, 1 part reducer. That means when you put your paint in, you're gonna start where the 2 line is, where all the lines where the 2 are. Okay, so right here, where this 2 is where you're gonna start putting your base coat. Now you see it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So when you're mixing it, these numbers are to indicate how little bit or how much more you want to put in base coat. So I'm gonna mix all the way up to the 5 because I want to mix a good amount of paint to paint my car. And then once I mix to the 5, my reducer is gonna go to the next line, which is the 1 part reducer. Now I already have my paint all mixed up. I mixed this paint and it's 100% paint. There's no reducer on it. I mixed it on the computer. I'm gonna go up to the 5, which is this number right here. All right, that's it. Let's get you in closer right there. See, I stopped at the 5. Now what I'm gonna do is get my reducer and go to the next line, which is the next 5. Grab my reducer. Now I'm gonna pour my reducer to the next 5, which is that line. So if you have paint up to the first 5, it's the next 5 over to the next line, which is the 1 parts reducer. That's how you wanna mix it. Once you put the reducer up to the line of the 5, it looks like it's a little bit above the 5, but that's actually bubbles that build up when you put the reducer in there. So all you want to do is stir that paint up real good once you've poured in your reducer and you're ready for paint. That's it. I'm ready to paint. So all you gotta do basically to know how to use one of these cups is always remember the first number is the main component that you're mixing, whether it's base coat, whether it's clear coat, or whether it's primer. For the most part, primer is mixed 4 to 1. That's it. 4-to-1 is the most common mix for a primer, which means, like I said, the first number is always the main component, which is 4 parts primer, 1 part hardener. And that's basically it. That's all it takes to mix in these cups. So I will mix some primer in one of these cups just to show you. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go to the 2 where the 4 is. See the 4? 4-to-1. So I'm gonna put my main component, which is the primer. I'm gonna start and I'm gonna go on the 2. All right, here we go. There, I stopped at the 2. That is my main component. That's the primer. So that's what you want to put in first. Then what you want to put in is your hardener. Whatever hardener you're using. It doesn't have to be mine. Then with your hardener, what you want to do is go to the next number, which is the next 2 in the next line over. And that's it. That's all it takes. That's all you have to do to use a mixing cup. Mix whatever you're mixing, mix it very well, and you're good to go. Well guys, that's it for me for today. I hope this video was helpful for you. Please hit that like button if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I post a new video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.